Hello Libra, welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 19th, going to the 25th of August. I feel like I've not been saying that today, but anyway, let's dive into reading, my angels. Let's see what's going on for you guys this week. Let me know what you guys think about this new setup. We're in a new home now, so finally moved in. But let me know if you guys like this place. I feel like it's better than last week because it's got more natural light. So let me know. I quite like it. Still getting used to it though. But anyway, let's dive in for you guys. If you're new and you enjoy these readings, make sure you like and subscribe, by the way. And if you already subscribed and already support the channel, then just give me a little wave in the comments. Let me know that you guys are here and watching. But anyway, let's dive into it for you guys. All right, for my lovely Libras. What's going on for them this week, please, Spirit? Let's get some messages that are very important for them to hear. For Libra, chaos and conflict. Here we go. Now, this is an interesting card because the way that of course, it can represent there's chaos and conflict going on around you. Things feel very much up in the air. Again, maybe there are arguments and disagreements going on at the moment, or some shifts are happening. You know, maybe the environment's changing, and it's causing a bit of chaos and conflict. Okay, it doesn't have to be all bad. Sometimes the chaos and conflict card is like things are changing around you because you're changing as well. Or it's happening to give you a different perspective about yourself. Like I always see this card as like self-discovery through chaos and conflict, because it's removing this outer layer of the zebra to recognize that it's actually much more different than it thought it was. Giraffes are like seeing things from a higher perspective, so it feels like you guys are gaining wisdom through some sort of chaos and conflict in your life. Sometimes this is like an ego death. Sometimes this is recognizing all the conditioning that you've, had in your life that kind of made you a certain way. Now you're removing that, that outer layer of yourself. It feels like that's what it feels like. Let's carry on. Let's see how this lines up. Deceit. Oh God. Deceit. That could be where the chaos and conflict is coming from. All right. Yucky. I hate when this card comes up, but it has been coming up a lot lately. So I will say this is a really weird time where it's really important to trust your gut instinct with something here. The chaos and conflict could be about somebody who's being quite deceitful, whether this is financially, contracts, that kind of stuff, whatever it is, trust your gut. Something's not quite right. All right. And it's important to recognize something about yourself when it comes down to this for some reason. Why would it be about something about yourself? Because you have the first chakra here as well. So there are two ways that this can go. Sometimes deceit, it's important to say that in tarot, sometimes this can be about ourselves, and we're all on the path of self-discovery. So sometimes we might recognize parts of ourselves where we deceive ourselves, where we tell ourselves certain things, or whatever it is in your life. I won't go into details. If it resonates with you, then it resonates. And if it doesn't, then that's fine. But recognizing where we might be deceiving ourselves or tricking ourselves into believing some things. Because you have the first chakra here, which is about your identity. Like I said before, there's an identity shift coming through. Sometimes it can be about attracting in deceitful people. Where is that coming from? Is there a part of yourself where you feel unworthy and let in these people into your life who... I don't know what it is, but there is some sort of reflection moment coming through here. By the way, you never deserve deceitful people. We never deserve pain and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying that to you. But there is something about this here that's shifting your identity. Maybe it's people pleasing. I'm sure we've been in situations, I definitely have, where you realize that you are kind of conditioned to give people like a lot of chances, even though they show you their red flags. Where have we been deceiving ourselves, where the signs may have been there? That is removing a layer of yourself here to recognize something about yourself and to change it, so that you no longer allow this kind of deceitful energy into your life. Energy vampires. Have you been giving too much to people because you feel like it's where your worth is held? Whatever it is, something to do with your identity here connected to this. Interesting. Let's carry on for you guys though. Let's see. For Libras, please, Spirit, you have wisdom. So again, this is teaching you something. I'm going to get another one. For Libra, wisdom and service. I guess I'm being impatient. Like I want to know what this is so I can help give you the best advice for it, but we will kind of carry on. I feel like I'm being disciplined here by Spirit. I'll carry on with the spread and it will let me know what this is. And if not, I'll just clarify. But wisdom is very similar to the chaos and conflict. There is something that you're really understanding about yourself when it comes down to the situation as chaotic, quite frankly. And because you have the dove bird here, there will be peace in a situation. All right, so that's something to just, brush yourself off, just knowing that everything's going to be okay. But there is definitely some wisdom that's coming through here that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. And usually it's in these kinds of situations where we learn a very important lesson that changes things for us. You also have service here. So for some of you, maybe it is about questioning how you give service to others, whether it is, whether you overly give to others, even when they are deceitful to you, or vice versa, I don't know. It's kind of about being called to service, or being called to analyze how much service that you are giving and to what expense. Okay, but let's see what else. Of course, there's a lot of different examples of how this can resonate for different people, but let's see. You have self-esteem coming through, working on your self-esteem. This says, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. And maybe that's where the service is coming through. You're being called to be of service to others. Maybe it's your wisdom that can be of service to others to help people go through situations that you've been through, similar people who are going through the same things. Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace. Now that's interesting. Calling for you to give. Where have you been taking instead of giving? And where have you been giving instead of taking? It's almost like that balance needs to be restored in your life. All right, let's dive into your tarot. Let's make sense of this. Let me just give this a good shuffle. All right, let me know what this is for you guys already. Let's see, for Libra. All right, let's see. Six of Cups, of course, is Mercury retrograde. So, this is still a common theme of the past. This is a card of nostalgia, past people, past situations. So you could be feeling, reminiscing on some things here. Again, maybe where there was chaos, conflict, deceit. Maybe there is somebody of the past coming through here. Let's see what else. 10 of Wands, you're being called to release this. You're finally coming to the end of a very difficult chapter where you're able to let go of all that stuff that you've been holding on to. Very similar to that imagery that I said earlier about this external, like something that's been, this external layer that you've had of you is something that you're finally going to be able to let go of, right? 10 of Wands is closing out a chapter, a very heavy and exhausting chapter in your life, and maybe one where there's been baggage, something that you've been carrying with you. Let's see what else. 7 of Swords. Look at this, guys. That is that deceit. I will say that this Hanged Man is really at the bottom of the deck here, so I would say this is your overall theme here, meaning that you're observing something differently, from a different perspective. 7 of Swords, as I said, is the lying, cheating, stealing card. Is somebody who, is out for their own gain. It's somebody who is very strategic, okay, potentially against others. That's why the deceit is here. Right. The 5 of Swords. This is something that you are walking away from and need to detach from if you're still holding on to it, guys. The Fool. Yeah, completely taking a leap of faith somewhere else. Because that 10 of Wands is really like, this is a chapter that is way too heavy. The Fool literally has nothing but that little bag at the back. which, by the way, in the Fool's Journey in Tarot, it goes to Magician, opens the bag up, and it has all the elements and all the aces. So what you'll realize is when you finally let go of something, you'll realize that you have all the tools to create the amazing life that you want for yourself. You have everything that you need, but you need to let go of something that maybe you've been holding on to. I just have a message that just came up where it's like, you already have the wisdom of this. You don't need to hold on to the memories in order to remember what you need to about staying away from certain types of people or breaking out certain types of habits or no longer doing something. Okay, you've already learned the lesson. You don't need to hold on to it anymore. I am kind of really getting a sense here. Of course, this could be things that have already happened that you're still processing. The Seven of Swords is almost like in front of that Ten of Wands, which kind of feels like you've still been holding on to something, and it does feel like there's a resurfacing of this. And I feel like that's why the Fool is just jumping away from it. Like away from that 7. You're like, nope. I'm not going down that route again. Good. It's a really good time to change. All right, so the Fool is a leap of faith, taking a new journey, which I like. You do have a lot of endings here. Chaos, conflict, makes sense. There is an argument here. And the Three of Wands in the future position. Three of Wands is about waiting for something. He has put something out there and he's waiting for the ships to come back to him. I don't like this card in your spread for some reason. I feel like in the future, I don't want you to wait for things. I want you to create. As I said before, I feel like you need to take the Fool's journey. So definitely look up what that is, because you're starting as a Fool in the middle of your reading. And again, sometimes a Fool can be a card of like naivety. So I feel like this is something that you are moving away from, which is great. And learned very heavy lesson about. All right. But the Three of Wands is still like waiting for something. The Fool goes to the Magician, learns that all he has is all these aces, and he can have whatever he wants if he believes he can. Then I believe goes the High Priestess, where you learn more divine knowledge. And then I think it's the Empress, where you start to attract an abundance. And then there's the Emperor, where you know, all that kind of stuff. That's the journey you're going on. I don't want you to wait. All right. That Three of Wands I'm not quite liking in your spread for some reason. Let's see what else. The Nine of Swords. Look at this. You're very reflecting on the past. Look at this. It's plaguing your mind. I think maybe this is an argument repeating in your head. Maybe you do have some worries, doubts, regrets about maybe what you said or how things were left off. I wish I did that in a different way. You know, I wish I had said more. I don't know what your situation is, but you are really overthinking. And again, I really feel like I want you to let this go. Eight of Swords, because it's keeping you very much stuck up in your head, and it's preventing you from moving forward. And maybe it's also affecting your self-esteem. The King of Pentacles. I do feel like financially things are going to become very stable for you in the future. I really feel like for some reason this week, there's just a lot going on for you, and it does feel like it's this deceit energy. Right, I'm going to clarify and do some extra things for you to figure out what this is. What is the Seven of Swords and the Deceit card here for? A Two of Cups. This is a relationship. This is definitely to do with somebody else. Okay. What was the Deceit? The Knight of Pentacles reversed. That's interesting. That feels like a false promise. The Knight of Pentacles is like traditional, slow movement, you know, doing things the right way. It kind of feels like somebody potentially was lying about their finances. Somebody potentially was lying about making progress with you or wanting something stable. Could have been, of course, like to do with business partnerships too. It's like somebody promised, okay, I'm going to give you this, and then they never do. Like the kind of, okay, now you've done the work and now they've not paid you for it. Like that's the kind of vibes I'm seeing here. I'm going to go in and clarify all of this actually. just for you, Libra, because I do want to figure out what this is, because all this showing me is conflict and the fact that you need to take a leap of faith away from this and start fresh, come out your head, and also focus on gaining what you feel like you've lost outside of this. Okay, let's split it again. Let's see what's going on for you. We're going to go in and clarify the Six of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody that you're thinking about. Again, it could be thinking about an old version of yourself where you had more money or you were in a more stable position. 10 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. You've been doing a lot of work here, very overburdened, trying to potentially fix something or work on your finances, work on your skills and your abilities. 7 of Swords is the Devil. Can't make this up, can we? This is a very toxic situation. Somebody where there was a lot of bad habits. It's attempting energy. Something where there was a lot of, when you think of the devil in a relationship or a partnership with somebody, you do think of it being quite, argumentative or toxic, or again, just somebody who kept you tied down, and was not focused on, things like growth, or didn't give you freedom, maybe even as well. 5 of Swords, 3 of Swords, which is interesting because that feels like that's what you've taken with you when you had to let something go. You walked away from something, it left you with a lot of heartache and pain. And I do feel like you still have that. We'll dive into that a little bit later. The Fool card, the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like you're weighing up your options on whether you really want to actually fully come out of this and no longer think about it or not. Like 2 of Pentacles is also about juggling and starting something fresh somewhere else. Maybe, focusing on 2 different hobbies, or building your finances up and trying to, get a nice stable ground here in your work life, your financial life. Three of Wands and the Star card. So what you're waiting for is some sort of wish fulfillment, some sort of healing. Like I said, I don't like that you're waiting for it. I think that's something that we can take action on now. And by the way, healing does take time. That's probably why there's that waiting. But it also means that we have to actively feel something, look at something differently most of the time in order to heal from it. The 9 of Swords and the Sun. That's interesting, because this is about a lot of overthinking, and the Sun card is about freedom and happiness. So for some of you, you could really be overthinking about what you're, going to be achieving in your life. Maybe you're wondering what's going to bring you happiness, or what maybe whether you can have a goal or not. The Sun and the Star are both great energies, but it does feel like the things that you feel are out of reach. 8 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Feeling stuck, maybe financially. What's interesting is when you come out of your head, because both of those swords are about thinking and overthinking and worrying, what's outside of that is abundance, is happiness, is success. King of Pentacles is love, true love here. And you also have success, celebration, happy feelings, feeling in love. So it does feel like it's time to choose yourself. I do feel like you're going to have a lot of peace in the future when it comes down to your love life, when it comes down to people around you, when it comes down to your finances as well, your work life, feeling very stable. It just feels like you have to let go of something that was very unstable, especially with this very unstable connection, and find peace somehow. And again, for some of you, it could just be about giving, bringing service to others could help you out here. If you've dealt with the bad of the world, sometimes when you connect to the good people, you remember, okay, there are really great people out there, and that could give you some hope. If somebody is coming back around again, or again, you're just thinking about it, it's really a time to let it go. Let's get some advice for Libra here. The Moon and the Four of Swords, you got to process some of these feelings. The Moon is about it's about hidden things. All right. It's about your feelings and emotions as well. The Four of Swords is about healing, taking some time out to process some sort of pain, to deal with the feelings of that. The Hermit here as well, looking at it from a higher perspective is important. When we're in the feelings of the moon, we feel lost, we feel confused. There's so much going on in this card for me. In the Fool's journey, when he reaches this moon card, it starts to make him feel nauseous and dizzy. These feelings or this environment makes you physically feel, maybe you actually had a lot of health issues during this situation because of this like weird toxic energy in the air. The Four of Swords is about healing this. And the moon is about keep moving forward out of these feelings, and maybe again just looking at your feelings, not in them, but giving yourself the wise advice you would as if, you know, somebody else was coming to you with this issue. Three of Pentacles, the Tower. This was definitely someone that you was building something with. The Two of Swords. Yeah. The Hierophant and the Ace of Wands. It feels like this was a very, like, if it was a relationship, like very sexual, it seemed traditional. It seemed like it would lead to maybe marriage or again a higher commitment. But it feels like maybe this was like a relationship based on fear, or based on, yeah, some kind of fear. It's more about surrendering and controlling rather than the opposite. Made a decision to leave the situation, which I think you left in a good time, by the way, because the Three of Pentacles is like there was actively a plan to take something maybe even more stable. Maybe you was going to really invest in something even more. That's what it feels like. But I see you have a really brand new connection coming your way anyway, and a lot of love and peace coming into your life, and financial stability as well. Yeah, it just needs to come to an end, and you need to completely leave the situation alone. The Chariot's about chasing the stars. So some of you need to, again, go out there and chase your dreams. Don't wait for it to happen. Don't wait for yourself to resurrect from this position. All right, new beginnings are happening, but again, they really do require you to go and chase your dreams and goals. All right, my angels, so an interesting week. It's a longer one, I guess, for you guys. But let me know how it resonated with you. All right, my angels, I love you guys. Wish you all the best, and I hope to see you guys next time.